back to another weekly creative build comp overview, where this week's theme was space. And yeah, I was burnt out completely from the build comp, the mega build comp. I'm just gonna say that now. Because, yeah, I was not making the best of decisions. Anyway, my secondary theme was monster. So I made a punk octopus in space. It's, very much not atomically accurate. To any living octopus ever, if it was not obvious. So I guess it is a monster, technically. It does not have any semblance to any natural creature. Or at least no strong semblance to any naturally occurring creature. And yeah. And it is solid before you ask. Yeah, I just used brushes to make it. Anyway, next up we have Kitten, who said we didn't build anything. They were probably busy. Next we have Nobody, who didn't build anything. Not owned by anyone. Always slacking. Anyway, next up we have Zaba, who made this beautiful little quasar piece. I think it's a quasar? I'm gonna lean into it's a quasar. Anyway, next we have King Elio, who has a few planets. Some dancing aliens on Mars. We have the moon, the Earth, a satellite, Venus, Mercury, and the Sun. And then a starry background. Anyway, next up we have Liolite, who has the Sun, Mercury, Venus, Earth, the Moon, Mars. Funny that no one gives Mars its two moons. Phobie, and I can never remember the other one. We have the asteroid belt. We have Jupiter. And that's where it ends because they ran into the build height. Yeah, kind of expected. When you're trying to build the entire solar system and giving them proper spacing, you're gonna run out of room. If you were trying to build it accurately on Minecraft, you'd have to build it horizontally, not vertically. And obviously in these little plots, that's not happening. In the slightest. Also, the Sun, no matter what, would be absolutely squished. Probably the same with Jupiter. Anyway, next up we have Mifi 10394. Actually, I think a lot of the planets would be squished when at scale. Anyway, yeah. We got some rockets, a robot. I think these are planets. This one has a ring. Me. And an alien face. Anyway. Next up we have Echo Agent, who has a planet with a ring. A UFO whizzing by. Another planet. And another planet. Anyway, next up we have Magic Bartle T1, who has just 3 rockets right next to each other, waiting for liftoff. Yeah. Anyway, next up we have Tibbles, who was actually building quite a bit. I could see that from my plot, but I think they just gave up. I don't think they were feeling it this time. Nice to see them again, though. Always nice to see them building. Anyway, next up is Ambibug, who made... hold on. Space! And yeah, they made a bunch of stars. Very pretty. Anyway, next up we have Dylan is Cool 1717, who made I think it's a space station. Yeah. Anyway, next up we have Captain Hud, who made a few things. They're all labeled, so that saves me the time of playing the guessing game. Know that Saturn's rings will eventually disappear? Yes. A lot of things will eventually disappear. Did you know it rains diamonds on Uranus because of the... I assume they're talking about the carbon, and I'm pretty sure that was actually Jupiter, where they were thinking it might rain diamonds. They think it has like a sea of carbon, liquid carbon, and it rains diamonds, or at least carbon crystals. Though it may have been Uranus. Either way, it's we cannot know for sure, because we cannot get to the planet's surface to see if it actually does. Neptune is the farthest away from the sun. That is not true. There are planets way further away from our sun. Kepler 22 comes to mind, and other such planets. That's probably not even the furthest one. Anyway, did you know Jupiter has over 100 moons? Yeah, it actually has its own ring, though not as noticeable as Saturn. Oh. Yeah, it's one of the worst builds. Hail Mary reference. Do you know Venus's atmosphere is mainly carbon dioxide? It's what our atmosphere is becoming slowly. And Venus is what our planet may look like in the near future. Happy thoughts! The Enterprise, Star Trek, by the way. It's missing it's missing its things. I'm sorry. They're iconic. It's like the pie disc, and then the two things at the end. Though I do kind of see the vision. What's this thing? Bad guy ship, also Star Trek. Oh, I think this was actually a specific scene. Yeah. Anyway, next up we have Jesse the Silly, who has made a black hole, which normally you couldn't see, but this is not a real black hole, so we can see it. The only way you can actually see a black hole is by the fact that the light bends around it. And yeah, that is everyone, so let's get on to the winners. Okay, so in third place, we have King Elio 13 with their planets and sun. In second place, we have Violet with their planets and sun. And in first place, we have Zaba with a quasar. So, yeah. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed. Until next time, goodbye!